Maverick 100.9, Aggie Lands Country Alternative. It's Corliss, and I get to meet a new band today, 12 Mile. We have got Charles. Let's see if I can read my own handwriting here. Charles Reyes.
Reyes.
Reyes is here. Lead guitar. Hello, Charles. How are you today?
Good, very good.
I'm so glad to meet you. And we've also got Bo King, lead vocal for 12 Mile on with us. Bo, how are you?
Thanks for having me.
So great to have you guys. And of course, I'm wishing well to the rest of the band who couldn't join us on Zoom today. It's real life. We all have jobs, right?
Exactly. I'm actually at work right now.
Hey, you have to tell them, like, hold on, man, I got something to do.
Exactly.
Well, you guys have finally hit us with your first Texas country record, but my first question is, how long have y'all been together?
Going on 3 years.
3 years. Okay. So like plenty of time together and finally ready to crank out music to radio then, huh?
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, the first song, I already love it by the title. It's called Sing Along. And I grew up with those little Disney VHS tapes that were the sing-along songs. So are we going to have like the bouncing ball in the music video, or where does, where does this one come from?
I don't know why we didn't think of that.
Right? You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll take my cut at any time. Don't worry. Well, tell me a little bit about this tune that we're going to listen to.
The idea of the song actually kind of, it's a sing-along song. That was kind of the idea. And we just kind of made up the characters, and it's basically kind of showing a guy and a girl that it doesn't matter where they are or what they're doing. They're just gonna kind of be singing along together. It's kind of just a relatable sing-along song that we just kind of came up with one night.
Now, do all of you write together in the band?
Yes. It's mostly me and Charles, and then we kind of give the rest of the band their parts to write as well.
That is really cool. You know, a lot of bands or even just singers, they don't really utilize the fact that you've got numerous different opinions and numerous different wavelengths going through different brains. But when you put it all together, or if you can figure out how to not work over one another and work with each other, the music that comes out of it is often better.
Yeah, definitely. Usually what we do is we'll start with like the bones of a song. I'll have an idea, or Bo will have an idea, and we'll just kind of sketch out a rough draft of it. And then we'll bring it to the guys and we'll say, hey, this is what we're thinking. And they'll give input. They'll change lyrics, guide us and say, maybe we should go this direction with the song, or maybe we should go that direction with the song. So it really helps. And we all get along so well. We're all like brothers. So it's kind of easier for us to make it work.
That's so sweet to hear. I mean, really, you are brothers. You tour together. You have to spend so much time together. Lord knows hopes you better like each other at least.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what, guys, we're going to be back with 12 Mile, but I want to release this single now. We got to sing along on Maverick 100.9. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can now find it anywhere that you stream and download music. And today's interview continues now. Maverick 100.9 and sing along. Now, I got to know, we've got Bo and Charles joining us from 12 Mile. What is your go-to sing along song while you're driving?
Oh, mine's got to be Sublime, What I Got, or Dua Lipa, whichever one.
Did you do that on purpose? Did you see my shirt?
No, I actually didn't. I didn't even see your shirt. I'm a huge Sublime fan.
I am too. That's phenomenal. Okay, what about Bo? What's your go-to sing-along song?
Oh man, there's so many good ones. First one that kind of pops to mind is probably Broken Window Serenade by Whiskey Myers. I'm just I'm more of a country genre. I love all styles of music, but I kind of just have a voice for country. But Broken Window Serenade, we do it in our show. I play the harmonica parts, and it's it's a real fun song to do.
I mean, Whiskey Myers can still double as a rock band. Nobody does both rock and country better. Like, they
Yeah,
are the
Exactly.
staple for it. But when I drive, it is all metal. Like, it's like country Corliss just fell off the face of the earth and she doesn't exist anymore. And it's only Metallica and Rob Zombie.
That's the good stuff.
But it
That's
looks
what I
like
like.
you guys do have a lot of rock influence in the band then.
Yeah, I actually started my musical career in a rock band. I played in a metal band first before I joined a country band.
I hear that story a lot.
I hate to say it, but there's more money in country.
It's true. It's
It
true.
is, yeah.
And then you find someone like Bo who, like he said, like that's what the voice fits. And that's, things change. I thought by this age right now, I would live in Madagascar and be helping out with the environment and lemurs, but I'm still in radio. So you never know
That
where
sounds
life
awesome.
will take you. I mean, really, both are kind of awesome. So I can't complain. I get to sit here and talk to you guys. So
Yeah, it's a good time.
I'm
Actually, I found Bo in Walmart singing in Walmart. Speaking of finding him.
what are you messing with me? Because I'm
No,
going
I'm serious. I'm serious.
yeah.
When I
story
first
time.
started the band,
Story time. Tell it all.
I was originally the lead singer for the band, and again, I come from the rock world, so my voice really fits like rock, Stone Temple Pilots, things like that. That's really what I kind of fit. And so we decided, well, let's try to find a singer. And we had reached out on Facebook, done a lot of things, really hadn't had any luck finding anybody. So I was literally walking through Walmart shopping, and I was walking through the dog food aisle, and I hear somebody singing, and I'm like, who is singing right now? It sounds so good. And I walked by, and he worked at Walmart, and he's sitting there stocking dog food, and he has his earbud in, and he's singing like just loud, just like nobody's even watching him. And I circled him like 3 or 4 times, and finally I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk up to the dude, and just be like, hey, bro, I don't mean to be weird, but I've been stalking you for the last 20 minutes, watching you stock dog food. You got a good voice. Do you want to join my band? And yeah, and funny story is when he came for the audition, he bombed the audition. He was so nervous. He had never been in a band before, never done anything like that before. Thought he was just gonna walk into like say a storage unit or something, and we're just in there. Not that that's not a good thing, but I have a full studio and everything. So he walked in, he was like, "Oh, these guys are actually really doing stuff." And yeah, he bombed it, but I knew what he had. I heard him when he was comfortable, and so just been working on him, trying to get it out of him.
Gosh, that's going to officially be the most insane story I've ever heard. Especially as a woman, if I'm getting like I feel eyes on me at Walmart and I run or grab something sharp. So let's
Yeah, I'm sure he thought it was real weird.
yeah, like if we could keep the stalking in my world in College Station down, that'd be great. But that is cool. And Bo, you poor darn thing, you were just
I'm
hit out of left field with this.
I know from my point of view, um, I was just going to college. I was working full time at the same time, and I've always had a passion for music, but I've never really had an real opportunity to do anything with it. And then I just had my earbud in. I was just kind of singing, kind of keeping myself in rhythm as I'm stalking. And I seen him a few times, and as a Walmart employee, you're supposed to go ask, see if they need help. And he actually came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, you got a pretty good voice." And I was like, "Oh, I appreciate it." And he was like, "I actually have a band. You wanna come audition?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? What else did I have going for me?" And in my mind, I'm not really thinking the caliber of band that they were. And I've never been in a band. This is my first band, and I had just kind of started messing with the guitar, and because I'm a lot better piano player, but I picked up the guitar and I thought I knew how to play the guitar. So when I went into that audition, And also keep in mind, like, they gave me like 40 songs on a Sunday, and the audition was Wednesday, and I'd never heard any of these songs before. And so I went in there, and I wasn't really expecting a full blown studio. I was really just kind of thinking a little garage band jam session. I went in there, and I was, oh, it was so nerve wracking. I was not ready. And there was one point where they just told me, they're like, just go ahead and put down the guitar, just focus on your vocals. And I was, after the audition was over, they were like, oh, we'll call you. And I was like, oh man, like, and I think 2 weeks went by, and I'd already honestly given up. I was like, they're not calling me back. And then 2 weeks later, they called me back, and I went in, did another audition, did a little bit better, and I've been with these guys ever since, and they've helped me grow so much, and I appreciate everything that they do.
This is so wild. I just was not expecting this story. So back to Charles, were you auditioning other people, or did you just have Bo set in your head?
Really, we never auditioned anybody other than Bo. We had reached out to try to audition other people, but after I heard Bo and I knew, and again, he was comfortable. He was singing. Nobody was there like judging him or going, "Oh, you're doing that wrong," So I knew when he was comfortable, when he can get there. I was like, "Man, that voice is so good." And still, I mean, I spent, I don't know, week after week after week working with him on guitar. He'd come to the house and we'd spend hours and hours and hours, and I'd show him chords and show him how to play guitar, show him how to do leads, this and that, and he's so hungry for it, and I knew working with somebody who was actually hungry and somebody who wanted to do this versus working with somebody who's kind of already done it before and they're kind of lackadaisical about it. I knew he was going to be good. I knew he was going to focus. There wasn't going to be any of the stuff that comes along with bands, the drugs and the drinking and all that stuff, because he's straight and narrow. He was going to college, a good head on his shoulders. And we just sat down, started writing songs. They start pouring out of him. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, I guess we got a band now.
And all of this, and Bo, you did not have the plan to become a musician.
Absolutely not.
What were you going to school for?
So my dad is a high school football and baseball coach, and here in the state of Texas, he's out in Schulenburg right now. The story kind of behind my dad too is my dad is not really my dad. He's actually both of my parents, not to kill the mood, but both of my parents passed away before I was 15, and so I was going to a little 2A school right outside of Lubbock called Health Center, and he was my defensive coordinator in high school, and I was just kind of living on my own. And at 16 years old, I was just trying to stay afloat. And my defensive coordinator in high school sat me down and asked me if I needed a place to stay, and so I ended up living with him my little of my junior year and all of my senior year, and then I went off to college. Well, just because my dad being my dad, I kind of wanted to do what he did and just help other kids out and stuff. And I was this close to getting there, and then Charles, he just came along and swooped me up and just flipped my world upside down. And now I'd rather, I can put the coaching on pause for a little bit. I'm gonna focus on this and go as far with it as it possibly lets me.
This story just takes more turns. Oh my gosh! Like, so a person that was not related to you ended up adopting you and taking you in.
Yes, ma'am. Greatest man alive in my books.
Would you send him my love? Because I love him. I love him. I want to be a foster mother so bad. I have no children of my own. But I adopt musicians like crazy.
We'll get you out of house and home.
Right. I come on over. We'll feed you. I got you always. But I just, to hear somebody actually did it. They just found a kid and took him. And not only were you able to go to college because of this man, and oh my God, but somebody else just swooping into your life, you actually get to live a dream that you didn't even know you had.
Yes, ma'am.
I am really trying not to cry. So sorry if I am overreacting. I am trying to choke it all back. This is a lot. Ah!
Yeah, and that was one of the very first songs we ever wrote together. It's called Someday, and we put it out, but we never put it to radio. It's on our Spotify, but it's written about Bo's situation with his dad and all that, and it basically it works really well, you know, in the perspective of, you know, somebody who's really taught you how to be a man and really taught you how to grow up and do the right thing and make the right decisions and have the guts to go chase a dream.
You know, I just lost my dad last year at 32 years old, and I felt like that was too young.
Yeah.
But you find yourself after the loss of a parent, especially young, you start to find what all was taught, and or even just who you looked up to in general, like you said, your coach. And it doesn't take a long time to put an impact on someone. Like Charles said, you guys have only been together for 3 years, and already the impact that this has had on your life, you'll carry it on forever, and hopefully pass it down to a younger generation, because it does go to show you that blood doesn't create love. Love has to be found somewhere very, very deep inside of you, but it really, like, you can love anyone. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I think we're writing the song lyrics right there.
I know. Oh, call me anytime. I'm a super overly emotional person. I've got all the lyrics for you if you really need a downer.
Perfect.
Or a downer story that has a happy ending. I'm pretty good at finding myself some happy endings, because life hits us with all sorts of problems, especially in the music world. I mean, my God, it's like we're asking for it most of the time.
Exactly.
So, oh my gosh, that's just beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for your honesty, very much.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm an open book. Like the music is so important, and like Charles said, like I feel like I'm more fired up now than I was when I first came in the band. Like I'm comfortable now. My performance on stage is improving and stuff, and I'm starting to really interact with the crowd. I mean, to me, I'm still new to all this. This is like, we just dipped our toes into the radio promotional side of things, and I didn't even know that this would help us out the way it's helped us out, you know. And but also, like, I stick to my morals, like you said, like losing a parent at a young age, like it just really it helps you become the person that you are. Like, it's a sad situation, but I feel like something like that would help define a person. And I've always stuck to my core morals, from my mother's side, from my dad's side, from my coach. Like, you know, you can ask Charles. Like, I don't really drink at my shows. I don't do any sort of drugs. Like, I'm focused on the straight and
He's
narrow.
100% focused on music. Yeah.
Like, we're gonna get here.
that's a great influence. That is, and Charles, now I see what you saw in him. As someone that meets young artists constantly, you can tell who's going to be falling off of a bar stool someday, and videos are going to end up on the internet, and you can tell who's going to persevere, who's going to stick in it for the long haul. And as for Bo, you know, we learn lessons from loss, and the biggest lesson I've learned is how to show support to others. And one day you will pass on that support. You will know what it takes to love someone who's not yours. I'm kind of a lover of all children. I think they're pretty much the greatest thing on earth. So And I'm not a mother by any means, but I've had enough influences around me that I know that kids are just the best thing ever. So we'll get. They're the future, man. Like, yeah. Hate to sound preachy, but it's true, man. We'll get back to the music here because I am curious now that you guys are you've released your first single to Texas Country Radio, but you mentioned some other songs. Are there some EPs or records that we can look for from you guys for anybody who's just finding you on Maverick now?
Yeah, we have right now we have 8 songs, I believe, now released on Spotify or anywhere you can find streaming. And we recorded 3 music videos as well. And we've done it all ourselves, real DIY or DIY. I don't know which way.
They look
DIY.
good.
DIY, yeah.
DIY, yeah, real DIY. Yeah, they look great. We look good in them.
Yeah.
No, and I've been in the music industry since I started playing in a band when I was 14 years old, live on stage, and I've been playing music ever since. So I've been really lucky to know a lot of people in the industry to come shoot a video for us or to go record us or do a lot of things. And I really never thought I would have a band that would do something like this. Because when I was younger, I had big aspirations with it. But as you get older, you're kind of like, oh well, okay, I gotta work a real job, I gotta pay real bills, I gotta buy a real house, I gotta do all this stuff. So a lot of that stuff kind of got put on the back burner for me. But when we started 12 Mile and I found Bo, I was like, all right, this can actually be something. We can actually, get our music out there. We can go tour. We can, live out this dream that we all have. And it's so far it's been working pretty well for us. Had a lot of opportunities to open up for some great acts and do some cool tours and meet some amazing people and push our music out there. And people are liking it so far. And I think that's really what all musicians want. Just listen to our music and hopefully you like it. Hopefully it comes through the way that we wrote it. And hopefully you feel something from it.
Well, music speaks volumes, that's for sure. But I am selfishly really kind of excited that I met you guys before listening to your music because you're just basically 2 of my favorite people now, and I've adopted y'all. So
perfect.
I'll
take it.
I just love this. Whatever this was great. This is going to top all of my interviews for the week, I'm telling you. So,
awesome.
Y'all, if you like what you hear, please go check out 12 Mile. It's the number 12 and the word mile, if you can spell the word mile. Look up tour dates, look up their music. Go find these guys. Obviously, a little freshness for you, but there ain't nothing wrong with finding new music, dude. Thank you, Bo and Charles, 12 Mile, for joining me here on Maverick. I cannot wait to hear more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.